Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the ELC EVEN 90. It's a Tier 8 French premium light tank. It's located on the northeast corner of Arctic region, and it's under the command of ProvoBob. And we've got two replays for you to look at. He's got the camouflage net and the binoculars as his equipment. Game on. Well, 90mm main gun, but it's a low pressure gun, which means that it doesn't put out a huge amount of recoil. What this little light tank does have is superb camo qualities, which means that it's very difficult for the enemy to spot unless they get really close to it. Now, it is capable of 220 alpha, and with standard rounds, it's 175mm a pin. With the premium rounds, the APCR, it's 215mm a pin. And yes, he's gone out ahead. He only just got spotted by that Kampfpanzer EK1, where he's decided to go up this ramp. Partially because, of course, he can hide up here from the Kampfpanzer, but yeah, he took one round in the tracks, and he's going to keep taking rounds until his teammates actually come around the corner and do something about that guy. Oh, he got him a light. Can he get the kill? Yes, he does. And he gets an arsonist out of that one. So a very good start to the game. He didn't take any damage at all, but he managed to get 1,189 hit points of damage. Well, he does have company now because the Revelarice has turned up, and he's got a 105mm main gun. Of course, the Revelarice is a French version of the M4 with a big 105mm main gun, which made it very lethal. And in fact, actually, I believe they were also used during the Arab-Israeli war, or the war between Israel and Egypt. So I think it was the Egyptians who actually made use of the Revelarice. Of course, Jingles calls it the ravioli. And technically speaking, he's correct, because that is the term that they actually gave to the thing. They called it the ravioli. This guy was very silly, and he just got wiped out for his troubles. What a thing to do. Just drive out into the open, not checking first. Gets blown apart. He's only got 2 rounds. It's a 3-round autoloader. Normally it takes 28 seconds or so. 29.37 to reload, and he's decided not to reload just yet, but he really ought to, because he's got plenty of time to wait here, and if he pops the reload, he should be ready by the time somebody else comes around the corner. There is only an XM57 up on the spotting place, and he's decided to go up this ramp again. Now, ELC stands for Engin Léger de Combat, and that means light tracked vehicle, or light combat vehicle. And in fact, actually, it was part of a competition to make an effective airborne light tank. And so they built this thing in competition, but this was one of the standardized vehicles, and it didn't win the competition. Although they have many different varieties of vehicle based on the same frame, same hull, just different armament, 30mm cannons, 120mm recoilless rifles, even one with missiles on it. Quite a good idea, actually, if you think about it. Multiple different armaments for the same vehicle. Didn't have much in the way of armor. 15mm of armor is the most, and he's about to get another hit, but that G-sword is not looking. And we missed the chance there. But oh, we got it! And that's an Orlix medal. He just killed 2 or more enemy light tanks, at least 1 tier higher than himself. And yes, the ones he killed were in fact the Kampfpanzer EK1. And of course, that guy, the G-Saw. He's only got 1 round left now, but I think he wants to expend that one on the enemy before, and he doesn't need to. So now he does need to pop the reload as quickly as possible. And he does. Good. As I said, standard reload 29.37. He's got 26.93. They're 2 up on the enemy at the moment, but he needs to be careful that he doesn't get spotted by the enemy, because with only 15mm max armor, he could actually get holed by any shot, including an HE round. And it's got so little hit points, only 900. So it's very vulnerable if it gets spotted by the enemy. He's having a good look round, which is a good idea. Just see what's going on. You don't have to expose yourself to the enemy, but you can just find a nice little spot where you can see if the enemy can see you or you can see him. There's an enemy tank moving down there. It's a Batchat 12-ton. Now, in fact, it was the AMX 13-ton tank that effectively won the competition for a light tank. And yes, it's 13 tons in weight, but was very effective. And they made multiple varieties of that tank as well. Wasn't technically the winner of the ELC contest, though. Of course, the other ones were the AMX ELC. Oh, and that SVAC suddenly went down into the dip. So technically that means he can't see us, but we could actually go down into the dip ourselves and chase him up and actually come up behind him and pump 3 rounds. But in fact, I think he's now going to try and shoot at them, but he's right over the edge of the map here. He's trying to get to a position where he can shoot at the enemy without the enemy seeing him. You don't want to slip into the water if you can help it. We're only 1 up over the enemy at the moment. And there, we just saw the Batchat 12-ton. He saw us. He's locked on. Fires his first one in. Should be able to penetrate this guy, who suddenly realised he is being fired upon. Now, he thinks we've probably got 1 more round left, but of course, he didn't get the 3rd hit. So the Batchat's probably thinking, yeah, I can hit this guy. It sounds like the Batchat is not moving any closer just yet. There he is. He's running away. Missed with the first shot. Got him on the second one, on the turret as well. And that one was wasted, unfortunately. But he was trying. He was trying. I'm pretty sure that Batchat knew that that 3rd round actually did miss him. He probably saw it zoom straight past him. Now, there's a lot of enemy tanks right down the middle of the map at the moment. But you can see one just not so far away. Oh, over the rocks. He's trying to get a better position. He might be able to hit some of the enemy tanks. It's a tier 9 game with tier 6 tanks, tier 8 tanks in it. So most of the enemy tanks he should be able to get pens with. M103 is showing up. We've lost sight of him, but now he's trying to spot these guys from a distance. He's doing his job as a light tank driver. Pokes out to have a look. And he can't... Oh, no, he can see someone. And it's his opposite number. It's the ELC. So he must have snuck in, seen that our SU-130 PM was blocking the route, and he gets a shot into the XM. And now he's a 1-shot. Oh, and he hit the tracks, but he pulls back. Now the worry is that the ELC might be coming up this way. And he is. Of course, he's now in reload, which means... Oh, dear. Well, he pushed him out until the SVAC could get a shot on him. And that was the end of ProvoBob, I'm afraid. So at least he tried, and he did get some damage on the enemy. He did get some kills. But he was taken out by a direct hit from that SVAC, who was actually sitting out of sight further over to the west of the map. And it's now looking very much like we're going to lose this one, because the last remaining tank on our team is the SU-130 PM. And although we can't see him here, it's already ended. Here's the end of battle stats, and it does appear that the SU-130 PM was actually wiped out in the end, because it says all allied vehicles were destroyed. He managed to get a second-class tanker out of that game, as well as an arsonist for setting fire to that EK, the Kampfpanzer EK-1. He also got a fire for effect for doing more damage to the hit points of his own vehicle, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 5 exactly, and he got an Onyx medal because he took out 2 or more tanks in a light tank, at least 1 tier higher than his own. His win rate from that game, 7,211, which is very good indeed. Super income standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see that yes, it does show all of the vehicles were destroyed. The SU-130 PM was destroyed for 1,722 hit points of damage. But the most damage in the game actually belonged to the SFAC-105, the guy who killed us. And he got a high caliber for 4,898 hit points. Second place was the M103 with 3,567. And the third highest was the GSAW 1008 on our own team with 3,195. We can see ProvoBob got 2,418. He was beaten by 3 members of the enemy team and 1 member of his own, which places him actually in 5th place overall. When it came to kills, though, we can see he actually shared the top spot. He got 3 kills, so did the Object 752, and 2 kills went to the AMX-50-120 on his own team, and to 5 members of the enemy team, the SFAC-105, the M103, the XM57, and the Batchat 12-ton. They all got 2 kills apiece. Batchat got 12 Spartan medal. The SFAC picked up the high caliber, and of course the Object 752 got a steel wall. And on our team, our Batchat 12-ton picked up a patrol duty, whilst ProvoBob, of course, got that Orlix medal. Okay, so if we look at the detail, we can see he fired only 14 rounds in the game, got 11 direct hits on the enemy and 10 penetrations, 2,418 hit points of damage, of which 649 were at more than 300 meters. He received 3 hits from the enemy, 2 were penetrations, 1 non-penetration, and 1 hit, 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 6 enemy vehicles damaged, 3 killed, and he got a loss of 10,035 credits from the game, and that's on a premium count, and 1,531 experience points as well. So sadly, yes, it was a loss. All of our team were killed, but in a sense, actually, we were lucky that we didn't get wiped out by the ELC. That would have been a bit embarrassing, because he did see that ELC actually coming up, and I thought that he was going to try and come up and mess with us whilst we were in reload. Anyway, let's have a look at the second replay that ProvoBob played in his ELC. And here's the second replay. We're on the south spawn of Cliff. And yes, ProvoBob's still in ELC EVEN 19. It's only a few days later. Game on. Well, it's only a 3-man crew. Commander, driver, and of course the gunner. Which means it's kind of cramped in there, but it is a tiny vehicle. Only about the size of a Fiat 500. ProvoBob's decided to go up and get as close to the enemy, get some spots in. He might actually try and get up onto the hill, although getting up onto that lighthouse now means that you might actually be subjected to a hit from the whatever the event is. In fact, he's decided to go all the way down to the donuts and stop the enemy coming up this direction. In fact, he arrives and he gets spotted straight away. And I think we can see there's a T832 in that spot. And our Barasca's decided to go down there and do some severe damage. Unfortunately, he needs to get away now. And really, we should be doing some damage to that T832 as well. But he hasn't lost a lot. And our Barasca's still in reload. He looks like he's going to take more damage. In the meantime, we're spotting enemy tanks up near the center. And it looks like the T-832 did get wiped out, but this time by the Udizo 3. He's pulled back just in case anybody tries to make another move from the top. Our Barask is staying up. He didn't lose that much in the way of hit points. But then Barasks are known to be very, very tough. There is a target. Scorpion, he pumps around in, gets a low roll for 207. And now everybody's unloading, so he's getting the spotting from this. And that Scorpion, oh, he dived off the cliff and died. Unfortunately, we don't get anything for that. We should, but we don't. Apparently, during Second World War, if you persuaded somebody to crash into the ground, if you were in a fighter aircraft and you forced the enemy fighter to die by crashing, then it counts. It did count because, of course, your action forced him to crash. Well, we can see those enemy tanks over there, but they can't see us at the moment. From this position, we're actually very unseen. No, he did fire into the SU-130 PM, so he was spotted, and now we can be seen, and the enemy is firing on us. Oh, he's got another hit. He's really doing well. One more round left. Should pop the reload, and he has. I reckon he must have been watching Auroric 78 and he's starting to pick up some of Auroric's talent. It certainly looks like it to me. Of course, all those people who are watching Auroric play his light tank games, there's so much to learn from them. Loaded. ISU 152 just around the corner. He's hiding from view at the moment, so we can't get a shot from this angle. Well, we can get a shot on that guy if he pokes out again. The Kalana's in a position. He's stuck behind that house and he can't get out. Now, will the ISU pop out? No, we lost our Ferdinand. The Kalana does. And he pays for it as well, although he's starting to aim with us. This vehicle is so low to the ground. It's very difficult to get a good shot. Our Barask is very badly wounded now. He's a one-shot. So he could go down very soon. And we've got our next magazine, our next clip loaded. Four up on the enemy at the moment. It's looking very good. And another enemy tank's just died. The Tiger 2 went down to the Bisonte. There's our Ferdinand. Yeah, unfortunately, he went up against two at the same time. I'm wondering if he's going to go over to the cliff edge and see what he can spot. No. Nobody up in the sniper's nest at the moment. That's where I thought somebody might be. Well, we managed to kill the Type 683. Was it Type 63? Yep. I'm going to round into the 122 TM, but that one bounced. And that one did as well. And we were spotted, so we have to get into hiding. Oh, and an enemy tank just died in the sniper's nest. It was the Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger. But they do have a Striv up there as well. Now, I'm not sure if we spotted that or somebody else, but... Oh, look at that. We had a perfect target on the Striv S1, but unfortunately he went down. And now we've got the ISU 152. And he's looking at us. Yeah, and he missed us. So he fired his round. He's now on the reload. We might as well. Oh, and he goes down. And that's the T103 getting that kill. The Kalana's down there. He's the last enemy alive. So we might as well wait until we're fully loaded and then go down and try and get something else on him. Is he going to go over the edge? Well, the Barask is trying to do that. And the Barask made it, which is unusual. So he's going to stay in this spot and see if he can get any damage from up here. Kalana's possible. Yes. Oh, he hit the tracks. He tracked him. And he got another one in. And he fired the third one in and did get a hit. And now the Barask unloads. And that's the end of the game. Well, ProvoBob's definitely getting very good at the ELC EVEN 90. He got a first-class tanker out of that game, as well as the spotter for getting at least 1,000 hit points of spotted damage. And on top of that, he got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle. And he got a Confederate as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. His win rate from that one, 2,636, which is Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in this game. That went to the 122 TM that he fired on, but the shells bounced off. He got a high caliber and 4,060 hit points of damage. Second highest was the Conceiver on our team with 2,980, followed by the Scorpion, who got 2,348 hit points of damage. The Brass just came below that guy as well, so he was having fun. He was just 18 hit points away. Anyway, or is it 18? No, actually, it's 118. I was wrong. But we can see ProvoBob got 1,560 hit points of damage. And when it came to kills, he didn't get any at all, unfortunately. But the top scorer was the T103 with 3 kills. The Conceiver got 2, so did the Progetto 54 and the Type 57. Only one player on the enemy team managed to get more than 1 kill, and that was their Bisonte C45. Their 122, as I said, got the high caliber. But when it came to base XP, you can see that ProvoBob, with all that spotting, was way up on top. 1,149 went to him, 1,043 went to the Conceiver, and they were the only two who managed to make it over 1,000 base, with 844 going to the Barask in third place. He fired 15 rounds, that's all. 13 direct hits on the enemy, but only 7 penetrations. 1,560 hit points of damage, of which 425 were up more than 300 meters. He spotted 5 enemy vehicles, damaged 6 of them, and got 5,384 hit points of spotting assist in that game. On a premium count, he actually made a profit, 32,898 credits, and he also made 9,653 experience points out of that one as well. So he is getting better and better with the ELC as time goes by. Hope you enjoyed both of those replays. If you did, please give it a like, and thank you for watching.